Hey everyone, my name is Nathan Cooper and welcome back to SIS Film Breakdowns. As the college football season is starting to wind down, let's move to the secondary now to watch Washington corner Elijah Molden. The son of an 8-year NFL corner, Molden has been one of the most consistent players in Washington's secondary that is loaded with NFL talent year after year. In 2019, he was named a first-team All-Pac-12 player and the MVP of the Las Vegas Bowl. Molden mainly lines up in the slot for Washington's defense, and when looking at his numbers when lined up there, he performed very well. In 2019, he allowed a 71% adjusted catch rate and just a 69.0 quarterback rating against in 13 games. In just 4 games so far this season, he's given up an adjusted catch rate of 85.7%, but he's limiting the big plays he gave up last year, which is evidenced by a minuscule 28.2 quarterback rating against. Let's take a look at some of those plays from their 2019 games against BYU and Boise State, and then 2020 games against Oregon State and Arizona. Let's start with a goal line play from last season against BYU. Molden is at the top of the screen off the end of the line in the short slot to the left of the offense. At the snap, he begins to work out to the flat before recognizing the corner route coming in behind him. He falls toward the back of the end zone and goes up with one hand to make a remarkable pass breakup. Now, he wasn't able to come down with the ball and there was offsides on the play anyway, but this showed some good FBI and athleticism, which will foreshadow some other plays coming up. Now let's stay with 2019 and switch to the Boise State game now. Molden is in the slot to the right of the offensive formation. Boise is going to run a running back screen towards Molden. Now at the snap, Molden doesn't bite to the left and reads the screen coming his way. Now this is an awful throw from the quarterback and an easy interception for Molden here. But again, he shows the smarts to get in position to make this play and force a turnover for his defense. Let's shift to 2020 and the Oregon State game now. Molden is playing as the one-high deep free safety. This is something Washington does, and while his size likely doesn't allow him to play there at the next level, it says something to his athletic ability and skill set that Washington trusts him back there. Now at the snap, he gets deep, and once he sees the dig coming across the middle from the tight end, Molden transitions and breaks on the ball quickly. He doesn't get there in time to break up the pass, but he read the play and reacted quickly to come up and deliver a blow and make the tackle. When looking at Molden's 2019 season in zone coverage, his numbers match his disruption on the film. He gave up 17 receptions on 22 catchable targets, but picked off 3 passes while breaking up 3 others for an outstanding 31.2 quarterback rating against. We just saw a few plays of Molden in zone coverage, now let's watch him in man. Sticking with the same game, Molden is now in the slot to the left of the offensive formation over number 2. Off the ball, the receivers run a scissors route and Molden has to follow his man to the outside. At about 10 yards, the receiver drops his weight and breaks on the dig. Molden does a great job transitioning here and sticking with him. He gets his arm around the receiver's waist, but smartly doesn't pull and twist the receiver's body. He merely just sticks to his hip and knocks the ball away as it gets to the catch point. Now Oregon State has a trips bunch to the right and Molden is playing the inside taking number 3. Off the line, the receiver does a good job here of trying to get Molden to open his gate, and even though he does stumble some, he does get Molden to hop to the inside. With the receiver running a corner, now Molden has to catch up. While he doesn't have outstanding overall speed and closing speed, this time he's able to get back in phase and swipe down to break up the pass as it arrives. This time with trips to the left, Molden is over number 2 in a cover 1 look. It's 3rd and 10, and at the snap, Molden gets a crosser from number 2. However, with the smarts that Molden has, he sees the back running a flat out to the left. Molden peels off his man to run down the back and tackle him for a short gain. A very high FBI heads-up play from Molden to see this, because if he doesn't, Oregon State likely gets a first down here. Going back to the BYU game now, let's take a look at one final play in coverage. Molden is out to the right of the offensive formation in the slot over number 2 in cover 1. Molden is playing a few yards off, and at the snap, Molden shows good mirror ability to stay square to the receiver. He gets a dig from number 2 and sticks to the hip to and through the top of the route. He's able to transition cleanly and undercut the pass to break up the play and nearly force an interception off the deflection. Now let's take a look at Molden in man coverage during the 2019 season. He only allowed 14 catches on 26 catchable targets, but he gave up a lot of big chunk plays that accounted for more than 300 yards and 2 scores. However, he did break up 8 passes while in man as well. Let's watch one play of Molden in the run game now against Arizona from a few weeks ago. He's lined up on the edge of the box over the trips bunch to the left of the offensive formation. It's a pitch out to his direction with number 1 climbing to take Molden. Even with his size disadvantage, Molden gets his hands on and sheds the stalk block, throwing him aside and getting in on the tackle to limit the play to a short gain. Molden isn't going to wow anyone consistently in the run game, but he'll make some wow plays similar to the one we just saw. Over the past 2 seasons, he's made over 100 tackles with 5 interceptions and 15 passes defended. His quarterback rating against has improved from 63.0 in 2019 to 28.1 in a limited 2020. Molden is a disruptive cover defender, extremely reactive athlete, and plays with a very high FBI. However, he's a little inconsistent in his press fundamentals, misses a lot of tackles, and lacks some overall closing speed. His size won't allow him to play on the outside and is going to limit him to being a slot corner, but he has the reaction skills and quickness to stay with smaller, speedier receivers and the toughness and physicality to battle with bigger tight ends. Look for him to line up as a starting slot corner early on in his career. Make sure to go get the SIS Football Rookie Handbook or register for a free trial on the SIS DataHub to see all of these stats and more for every player, and also tune in each week to the Off the Charts podcast. Thanks for watching SIS Film Breakdowns.